Alrighty, YouTubers. Today I've got an interesting packaging unboxing. It's a package, it's not a box, right? So this is something I found on Amazon and I was really intrigued by it and I really want to test it out. So I went ahead and bought it. So what we're going to do is first we're going to open this up and take a look at it up close. Alright, so I saw this on Amazon Prime, on the Amazon website. Got it on Amazon Prime. You could rip this thing off if you want, or you could just cut it. Yeah, we'll just cut it. Let's pull this thing out. What do we have here? What is that? Would you just look at that? Hold Bubble Sharpening Angle Guide by Sharpal, giving you the edge. So let's go ahead and open up this Hold Bubble Sharpening Angle Guide by Sharpal. It's like $7. I really just wanted to test it out, see what this is all about. I have a bunch of Sharpal stuff and most of it I like. Or all of it I like, actually. Really good affordable stuff. So what we have here... I do not know how this thing works. I'm guessing it's a magnet, maybe, and it sticks. Yeah, okay, so it's a magnet. You put it on here. You must put it on there like that. That is very interesting. Well, that's what it looks like. That folds up. You've got your little level bob here. Your air bubble. So what the plan was I was going to put this on and sharpen a couple knives and just strictly follow the angle that this gauge has provided for me. This guide provides for me, and test the sharpness afterwards in the edge. And we'll do I'll cut some things beforehand and cut some things after and see how significantly sharper it is. Is pretty much the way I was going to go about this. So let me read these instructions really quick and make sure I'm using this thing correctly. Okay guys, so you've got your angle finder and you put it on your blade just like so in the center, and you want it to be parallel with the edge of the blade like this, or perpendicular, whatever it is, whatever you call that. So then you lift up the face, so you raise that up, and then you set your angle, whatever you want your angle to be. So let's say you want it to be between 15 and 20. Stick that on your blade, and then you want to hold the knife and you want that bubble to be right in the middle as you sharpen. That's what I'm gathering from these instructions. So you put your knife on the stone, get that bubble right there, and that's where it's going to be at 20 degrees or 17 degrees. I feel like there's a lot of margin for error in movement with how much this bubble moves though. So we're going to go ahead and take this angle finder, and I'm going to set it between the 15 and the 20. And we're going to just go right off of what this is telling us to do. So we'll hold this up at the angle until this bubble is in between these lines. So you got to hold it just like that with your little gauge set. So there's a look at the angle finder and what you get. So we're going to sharpen the ZT with nothing but Sharpal products. We've got the angle finder. I've got a block of Sharpal green compound, and then this is a strop by Sharpal. It's got one smooth side and one coarse side. So we're going to see how sharp we get this knife just using these Sharpal products. No diamond compound, just the old-fashioned green, and yeah. So let's see what happens. So I just noticed that this thing has little teeth, really fine teeth, to kind of go one click at a time. I didn't notice that at first. I started the first half of this video like 2 weeks ago, and I haven't just now got around to finishing it. So yeah, there we go. And this is a Sharpal sharpening stone, and it's a 325 and a 1200 grit double-sided stone. This isn't like super dull or anything. It's okay. It struggles a little bit cutting through the paper, so I'll be able to tell if it, was effective or not. Doesn't really cut through the paper, and it struggled through this thick cord. So we'll just see if I notice a significant difference. We're just going to go right off of what this is telling me, and let's see how that works. So we're holding it up. I've got the bubble in the middle there. Right off the bat, this is pretty awkward, but maybe this would be a good way for somebody to learn how to keep a steady hand. You could watch the bubble, watch your angle, and maybe this would be a good way for somebody to practice holding their angle while they're sharpening. Kind of just a random thought that came into my head as I was doing this for maybe a good purpose for this thing. Alrighty, so we got a burr on one side. We flipped over to the other side. Sorry, there's some cuts in the video. I've had a lot of interruptions, so oops. It didn't take very long to get the burr. Let's see here. I had it in between 15 and 20, and I felt like that was giving me too steep of an angle. So I went ahead and moved it up to 20, and that seems to match the angle on my ZT better. So I have a feeling that this isn't going to be super accurate to the degree. I have a feeling. It doesn't seem like anyway, but it'll, I guess, get you to hold at the same angle, whatever that angle happens to be, if that makes any sense. Although I kind of think the inertia from moving forward and backwards throws this bubble off a little bit. Alright, we're going to move the strop. Alrighty, so we're going to strop with just this green compound. This is 20 CV, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm going to use the same angle finder. The whole point of this video is to rely on the angle finder and do nothing but what the angle finder says. The whole point of this video is to test out this angle finder. So we're just going straight off of the bubble of the angle finder, nothing else. So I apologize, there's going to be a lot of cuts in this video. Generally where I live is very quiet, and there's really not a lot of people. But this time of year, all the farms that live up the hill from me and on top of the bluff get constant traffic, and I literally can't turn my camera on for more than 2 minutes, it seems, without hearing a car's tire noise from 5 miles away. So if there is a lot of cuts, that's why, plus any other interruptions that might have happened. Alrighty guys, so we're just going to finish up on the smooth side of this strop, and we're going to test out the edge. I'm really curious to see what happened. Alrighty guys, before we do the sharpness test, I want to go ahead and invite you to like and subscribe. And leave a comment, and I want to hear what you think. Predict if this edge is going to be any sharper than it was. Leave a comment down. What do you think? And maybe leave a little comment what you think about this little item right here. Alright guys, moment of truth. Let's see how sharp it got. You saw how sharp it was before. It wasn't very sharp. I was having trouble cutting through this. Well, it's definitely a lot sharper. Alrighty guys, so we started this off with a cord test on this stuff. I could barely cut through it with a pull. And that is going through that like butter. Absolutely way sharper than it was. Oh yeah. And then we'll do a quick paper here. I might be able to strop this out just a little bit more. But yeah, it's shaving sharp. It's whizzing through the paper. It whizzed through the cord that it was having trouble with before. And if I hold the paper towel, if I hold the paper towel roll from the hanger, this will cut through the paper towel. But I can't get it to work if I just stand the roll up and pull the towels out. Can't get it to do that, but I can do it off of the hanger. And this won't whittle a hair. It's not hair whittling sharp right now. I might try to strop it out and see if it doesn't get any sharper. Maybe I strop it a little bit more, or maybe hit it with some Diamon compound. But the whole idea was to use the angle finder and just kind of see how that works. And then I decided to just use all Sharpal products in the process. So we used the Sharpal Strop, and then the Sharpal compound that comes with the strop. And then we used the Sharpal angle finder. And then we used the Sharpal double-sided stone. Coarse and fine, 325 and 1200 grit. So we just used all that stuff. And I want to say this is a pretty good edge. This is not a bad edge at all. Like if this was the edge that my knife had and I had to use it, I would not be mad at all. It's pretty good. It's plenty sharp as it needs to be. And it's actually probably a little sharper than it needs to be, honestly. But yeah, super pleased with how that turned out. Not a bad little tool. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but it's there if I need to find an angle and hold it steady. So I would say this is probably good for somebody who just wants to steady their hands. So when you're sharpening, you can see if you kept the same angle while you were sharpening. So you can kind of watch this bubble bounce in between the lines, and you can see how much you're moving up and down. Alrighty guys, well, if you enjoyed that, go ahead and give this video a like, and subscribe. It helps out the channel quite a bit. Every little bit helps. We're trying to build this channel and improve the quality as we go. And moving forward, be really appreciated if you would leave a like and subscribe. Alrighty, well, that's it for this one, guys. This is Timberfall Craft, and I am Jake, and we'll see you on the next one.